Are you a real estate agent that constantly feels like you're winging it and you have no plan? I have you covered today. Instead of getting shiny object syndrome, figure out what you're going to be good at. You need repetition and you need to be consistent. And if you don't have a business plan, people are all over the place. So if you feel like you're an agent that's constantly feeling like you're reacting instead of being proactive with the business, here's what I need you to do. Why you need a business plan, how you structure it, and what it will take for you to become successful. But before I get into it, my name is Vanessa Marquez, and you're a referral partner here, and I teach other agents how to build six-figure businesses. If you have any questions or would like to contact me, all of my information and free resources are linked below. So I always say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that couldn't be like more spot on what I'm going to go over with you guys. So if you feel like you're an agent that's constantly feeling like you're reacting instead of being proactive with the business, here's what I need you to do. I think the first thing that people miss out on or fail to realize is that they don't have like a big mission statement or vision or goals or anything. They're just like, okay, I'm going to be a real estate agent and I'm going to kill it and I'm going to sell a lot of houses. But there's so much more that goes into it. So why are you doing the things you're doing? Are you trying to retire your parents? Are you trying to retire yourself? Do you want to go on a lot of vacations? Do you want to buy a fancy house and a fancy car and all these things? Like, what is your why? What are your passions? What makes you happy in life? And in the real estate industry, you can make a lot of money, but what are you going to do with that money? Like, what is your driving factor? And then from there, I would figure out, okay, how much money do I want to make in real estate? Like, what's the income that I want to take home? How much will I be taxed on that? What are my expenses? And what's my take-home pay after, broker splits and all of that? So how I do it is I take an average home price of $450,000, which is kind of low, but I like to underestimate things. So I undershoot and overdeliver kind of thing. And so I take out 25% of taxes. I take out my broker fee, and then I take out a certain percentage for marketing, and then I'm left with $8,500 for a $450,000 house, assuming that a co-op is paid of 3%, either on the listing or the buy side. So with that, I know, say for example, I want to make $850,000 net that year to fund my goals. I know I have to sell 100 houses. If it's, what's half of that, 425, I know I have to sell 50 houses. If my median home price goes up, so say, we see a huge increase in prices and now the average home price is $550, I can adjust that. But like I said, I under promise, over deliver on hours. And then once okay, let's say we're going to do 40. Where are you getting these people from? Do you do a lot of repeats? Do you do a lot of referrals? Where are the referrals coming from? Do you do a lot of business from open houses? Do you do a lot of business from local events? Like, what is it that you're good at? And I think that a lot of agents are looking for the magic pill and they get shiny object syndrome. So they see, I don't know, Jody over here doing an open house every weekend and she's killing it and she's selling 60 houses a year and they want to do that. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they see Janet over here posting on Facebook and Facebook groups, and she's super successful, and she's selling 35 houses a year from it. Then they see, I don't know, Janice. I don't know why I'm doing all the J's, but then they see Janice on YouTube, and she has a YouTube channel, and she's attracting clients there, and people that are moving to the area are reaching out to her. So then they start doing that. So many times we're so self-critical in this industry, and we'll see what others are doing. And I've done this, and that's why I know this is true. I'm not an exception. And we see what others are doing, and then we start doing that right away. And we don't have a plan. We're not consistent. We don't see instant results, so then we give it up. So instead of doing that, find 3 to 5 sources of leads that have worked for you in the past. So for us, it's referrals from other clients or people that we know, repeat clients, social media. I know for those, I'm in touch with my past clients. I'm texting them for their birthdays, for their home anniversaries. I'm reaching out to them when they have life events. I'm contacting them quarterly. For our repeats, we're kind of doing the same. We're doing pop buys, events. Like, there is a process every year. It takes me less than 10 minutes every day for the contacting. Monthly and quarterly, we do certain things, and we have them so dialed in that no matter what we're doing, how busy we are, we don't ever miss a beat because we have a plan in place for that. And people miss that. They'll be like, oh, well, I haven't done a pop by in like 2 years. Let me start doing it. And they'll do it one time, and then nothing will happen, and they'll quit doing it. But you don't see results that way. You have to do things planned, and you have to be consistent at them. Now, I'm not saying that if something is not working and you know for sure, like I've done events, I've done pop buys, and people show up and just nothing works, which is not going to be the case. Like, if that's really the case, then maybe you're drunk at your event and that's why nothing is working. But like, it will work. But you need repetition and you need to be consistent. And if you don't have a business plan, people are all over the place. So we have that. We need a business plan. We need to know how much money do we want to make, how many homes do we want to sell, and where are our lead sources coming from? Like, where are the leads coming from? And then we make a plan for that. Like, what are our action items? What are we doing every day, every week, every month? By the way, if you need like a template, I have a business plan template that I use. I print it out. It's double-sided on one page, and it's in my office, and I know every day when I sit down what I'm doing. So if you need that, reach out below and I'll send that over to you. But after that, you have those, say, 3 or 4 lead sources dialed in, and you have a plan for them, and you're executing no matter what, and you feel really dialed in. After that, you can add more. So say you're not where you want to be transaction-wise, income-wise, like it's just not enough. It is the most important that whatever you're already doing and is working for you to some extent, that you dial that in. And a lot of times people will be like, well, I don't have it dialed in, but I'm going to add this anyway because I need more business. And sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So dial those systems in, like have a system for everything. When a client comes in, this is the process that I go through. When a lead comes in, this is what I'm doing. So dial those in and then add something else. And there's so many things that you can do, but I think instead of getting shiny object syndrome, figure out what you're going to be good at. So if you're super introverted and you're terrible with people, like socializing or at an event, then you probably don't want to implement or add, I'm going to start going to all these events or hosting all of these events to get more clients, because people will know and see that you're uncomfortable. They will see that, like, oh, she doesn't really want to be here, or he, whatever. So do things or add things that feel authentic to yourself. You do not have to go door knocking. You don't have to go cold calling. You don't have to do open houses. You don't have to post on social media. Like, obviously you can't. There's going to be some kind of fear factor with everything, and it's going to be uncomfortable. But dig a little deeper and find out, what could I do and what could I be consistent at, and what could I feel comfortable with, what feels authentic to myself. I think a lot of times people, again, they get shiny object syndrome. They see other people doing things and they start doing them. It's just, you can see how uncomfortable they are even after doing it several times, and it's not going to work if you're not able to show up as who you are. So we have your lead source, we have how much you want to make, we have your lead sources, we have your action items, we have adding another piece of lead generation, and then comes the most important, and it's system and processes. And the first one is tracking. So you should be tracking every time somebody contacts you, like, hey, we want to buy or sell, or hey, I'm sending you a referral. You should be tracking it somewhere so that you can kind of predict, Okay, in the wintertime, I have this many people reaching out. In the springtime, I have this many people reaching out. In the summertime, this many people call me. You should be logging it with a date, and it should be in a spreadsheet or whatever you want to use. But I'm able to tell you, like I can look at a sheet and I can tell you in 2022, we had someone contacting us every 5.6 days. And now we've dialed in our processes, and now people are reaching out to us every 4.2 days. And so there should always be tracking involved, not only for the simple fact that you don't want to lose track of who is contacting you and who you need to get back to, but also so that you can recreate the things that you've done in the past. And if they are giving you results, you just double down on that and keep doing it. A lot of times I feel like agents don't have any type of tracking system, or they use something that's too complicated, so then they never look at it again. Everything I use is in a simple spreadsheet, and like I could show my husband and he would know what is going on. As far as systems and processes, I've tried Asana. I did not like it. Trello worked for me better, and I'm a firm believer in whatever you're going to use to help you run your business needs to be easy. If it's not easy and it's too complicated and you need hours each day to figure out how to use this program or software or whatever, then scratch it and use something else. Like it should be helping you and not hindering you. So I don't have a CRM. People are always like shocked at that. I don't like drip emails. I don't like drip text messages. I don't like any of it. The only thing that I drip out is a monthly newsletter, just because I can send it out to all of our past clients and leads, and I don't have to enter each email address. I would be there for hours. But other than that, like I know I keep a spreadsheet of who I talk to when. Every day I look at it, no matter where we are, if I have a lot of time or not. Like I always have 30 minutes to look at it, and okay, this person needs me to call them today, this person doesn't. I see everything on one page, and that's how I keep up with people. So you don't need a fancy CRM. You can use one, but if you use one, make sure it's easily for you to navigate. And if you're like not a very, like if you don't appreciate canned messages and canned emails, then your ideal client probably doesn't appreciate that either. So for me, I hate that stuff. So for me, I have to reach out personally. I'm texting you, I'm calling you, I'm commenting on your social media, whatever, because I want it to feel authentic. And for me, that goes way further. I'm not saying you have to do the same, but I'm just saying figure out what it is that you want to put out, the value you want to bring, if that feels authentic to you, and then use that. And then coming back to Trello, so when we have someone call us about selling or buying, they go into, we have like pre-templated templates that are pre-made, and we just plug them in. So I'll put their name in, when they contacted me, and then I have like a workflow where it tells me step by step. Okay, send them the client intake sheet, send them this email, send them this resource, send them the buyer guide. Once they're pre-approved, gather the pre-approval letter, upload it into contract software. Once they're under contract, schedule the inspection, call this person, send this email. Like everything, there's like 60 to 70 steps for buyers, sellers, new construction. So all I have to do is put their name in, make a copy of the template, and then start filling things in as the transaction progresses. So you should never be guessing or thinking about what you have to do next, especially if you don't have a transaction coordinator. I have it so dialed in that I don't even need a transaction coordinator, because I can sit down and in 10 minutes I know like what's going on, what has been done, what hasn't been done. And when you're doing, sometimes we have 10 to 15 closings a month. So I don't remember, did I upload the earnest money receipt? Did I send the email to the homeowner about the utilities? There's a checklist for everything. So you should have a system or a process for everything that you do in your business. When we host an event for past clients, there is a system, like send out the invites, follow up on this day, do the print marketing, get the goodie bags. Like, there is a process for every single thing that we do, so that when it's time to do it, it takes us a minimal amount of time and we're not wasting time that we could be using to talk to new clients. So if you do anything more than once, you should really create a process for it. And this is also helpful for when you start scaling and leveraging out parts of your business and you need like an assistant, or you have a virtual assistant that's helping you with things. If you already have a process built out, then all you have to do is teach them, okay, this is how I need you to do it, when to do it, as opposed to, okay, now I'm hiring someone and now I'm creating 15 procedures or processes on this specific thing. So just do it as you go, dial it in every time you do something. Like, we started delivering, once we are through inspection and appraisal on a house for a buyer, we have now added in that we're delivering them moving boxes to their house with a little note. And I added that into the Trello workflow. So I know I checked appraisal, I checked inspection. What's next? I need to schedule the delivery of the moving boxes. So it's not complicated. It's not rocket science. Like, anyone can do it. But the thing that people are usually missing is that there's no plan. They're reactive. They're not proactive. They're working in the business as opposed to working on the business and really dialing everything in. I think that's the thing that I see the most. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, if you need any resources, some of them are linked below. If you want to work with me one-on-one, fill out a contact sheet below. I'd love to help you in any way I can, so feel free to reach out anytime.